You are Locked On Heat Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Miami on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What is up, Heat fans? Welcome to another episode of Locked On Heat Postcast, or should I say Heat Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. My name is Jim GRIES. Call me Grease in case you haven't figured that out yet or haven't been here like you everydayers have, day in, day out, smashing that subscribe button, hitting the bell, ring my bell, ring my bell. Ring-a-ling-a-ling. So you know when we're coming your way with new content, right? We're coming live with your Heat Postcast. Right after every Heat game, this team showing signs of life tonight against the team with the third best record, I believe, in the Western Conference, the Houston Rockets. Miami on the road. They end up winning 2 of the 3 away from home. Nice job by the Heat there, and it comes on the heels of a tough loss at Atlanta, and that's last night. You know what I mean? So 3 games in 4 days, and they somehow come up with the energy to get defensive stops down the stretch. They somehow come up with the energy to outlast, outscore, outrun, out-effort, out-muscle, out-defend, and outscore the Houston Rockets down the stretch in this game tonight. And they did it with a little toughness, a little tenacity, a little grit, a little fire in that belly, right? Tyler Herro gets thrown to the ground by Williams, and I don't know how 6 people get ejected. 2 of the Rockets coaches, and 2 Rocket players. Green is out, and then Williams, Amen Williams, the guy who threw him down, anything but amen with his actions, right? Throws Tyler on the ground. Tyler gets ejected. Terry Rozier gets ejected. He probably just wanted to get off the floor the way he was playing and the way he was shooting. I don't know what is up with Terry Rozier, but we're not here to be negative. We are here to talk about a victory. Victory! Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, you. What a big, big win for the Miami Heat tonight. It's Locked On Heat Postcast. I'm going to get it right eventually. Heat Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Rebranding is so much fun, isn't it? But it doesn't matter what they brand us as. This is where you need to be right after the games, okay? Let me explain something to you, baby. Okay, so here we go. We're going to explain this to you. After the games, Heat, Dolphins, Canes, Marlins. Yeah. After the LA night. Yeah. After the games, you're here. Postcast. Day in, day out. Hey, those guys do a great job. Wes and George, Locked On Heat. They got the newsletter. They got everything. But here on the YouTube, Locked On Sports Miami, and here wherever you get your podcasts, which would be Spotify, which would be Apple Podcasts, which would be Apple Music, which would be iHeart, which would be Stitcher, which would be Podbean, which would be wherever you get your podcast, right? Yes, you're following me. Right after the games, you want to be right here with me, the handsome bald guy. It's easy to, you know what I'm saying? Although Alex Donald might take offense to that with Locked On Canes. He would fancy himself to probably be a handsome bald guy too. But come on, you know what I'm saying? It's 104-100. The Heat win, a fight. They call that a fight. I love it when NBA people call things fights. It's like, oh, there's no real fight there. You know what I'm saying? They're huge. They're massive. They're great athletes. But, you know what I mean? It's not really a fight. And, Tyler Herro's thrown to the ground by Thompson. I said Amen Williams. I meant Amen Thompson. 35 seconds left. The Heat were up by 5. You know what I mean? People coming on the court. Ime Udoka, he wants to be a G. Rozier ejected for Miami. But, legitimately, Houston led this game. I'd be pissed, too, if I was in a Rockets uniform tonight. They led by 7, 92-85, with 8:10 left. And they missed their next 11 shots to let Miami win the game. That's pretty much what happened. So we'll look at the stats. We'll look at the numbers. We'll give you the player of the game, the turning point, and, of course, the final score graphic. I don't know why I'm going like this. Maybe I missed baseball already, but I will say this. Tyler Herro's on fire for Miami. They got guys scoring from every direction. 5 players in double figures again tonight. And who the hell needs Jimmy Butler? Well, obviously the Heat do. If they want to win anything or they need to trade him and get players back, like the Lakers getting the trade market going by trading D'Angelo Russell, and, the Nets involved in that deal. And so we'll mention that, give you some scores, and all that coming your way right now. I almost did like Jim Carrey and Liar Liar. See, I almost did it again. Heat Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. I almost said That's what you're doing. You're rebranding. We're going from Locked On Heat Postcast to just Heat Postcast. So go, hey, we're here on the... It's like Jim Carrey. The pen is royal blue. The struggle is real. I had to take a deep breath after that one. You're watching Heat Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. There, I did it. And we don't have a title sponsor tonight, or it's not filled in yet. So that gives me a chance to kind of play around a little bit and go, Rocket RX, because the Rockets got work tonight by Miami. The Heat had the RX for anybody who was worried about the Rockets. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, 156 to play. The Heat took the lead for good. Tyler Herro hit a jumper. And how about Nikola Jovic? How about this dude, right? The youngster, been here 3 years. Talked about after the game tonight with Eric Reed and John Crotty. Said, hey, Coach Spo told me this morning I need to start being consistent. I've been here 3 years. Dude's been defending. He hit a big three, plus the 2 free throws after the whole scrum. Fight. I'm sorry, man. I just laugh. It's not a fight. The 6 players have checked it. Oh, it's a brawl. I mean, really, come on. I mean, they act like it's literally, these guys would all kick my ass. You know what I'm saying? But it really is kind of funny. And, you know, you blow a 15-point fourth quarter lead against the Wolves if you're Houston. And then you do it tonight against Miami. So you'd be pissed, too. You get a little chippy down the stretch. You know, they were 6 for 24 from the field in the fourth quarter. You know what I mean? And Dylan Brooks being back after 3 games out didn't really do a lot for him. But Jovic with the 3 with 40 seconds left, 2 free throws with 35 seconds left, had 5 points down the stretch, helping Miami put it away. He had 18 points tonight. 2 season highs this week for Nikola Jovic, and a great job by him tonight. The Heat host New Orleans. The Pelicans, man. Make money like Pelicans. It's the Pelicans, man. Yeah, it's the Pelicans. The Pelicans come to Miami on Wednesday, man. It's the Pelicans. So anyway, I don't know how well you got that with the Scarface accent. The Pelicans. Scarface 2, Tony Montana. 196 years old. Let's go, Al Pacino. You need another role to add to that resume. What else we got going on here? So 104 to 100. Big one for Miami. 21 to 11, the Rockets now. 16 and 14, the Heat. And they continue to create, build, grow, and evolve that identity, man. The Heat culture is alive and well within this team with so many guys like Jaquez and Highsmith and Burks and Smith before he got hurt. You know what I mean? Just so many guys on this team who are just literally just Heat players. You know what I mean? They're getting their hands dirty. They're diving on the ground for loose balls. They're smacking and deflecting balls all over the court. The Heat way, they're playing with a chip on their shoulder, undersized, underdog. You know what I'm saying? You got these guys all over this team. I'm waiting for Terry Rozier. He's 6 for 19 tonight. They're telling him to shoot more, and he should be shooting more. 6 for 19. Tyler's 10 for 17. Tale of 2 guards. 14 for Rozier, 27 for Tyler Herro. We'll give you the box score. We'll give you the leaders. We'll give you the team stats. We'll give you all that, as well as the player of the game, turning point, and man, the final score graphic, and woman, and you, and all y'all. 18 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists for Jovic. How about Jovic tonight? And how about Ware getting more run? 7 rebounds tonight, 3 for 3 from the floor, 7 points, right? 7 rebounds. 7 points and 7 rebounds in 14 minutes. 7-1. Oh, I can hear Bam breathing easier and easier and easier every time Ware starts to play better. You mark my words, by this time next year, this kid's going to be a major contributor on this team, and I love it. It's the Heat way. It's Ware, it's Burks, it's Jaquez. The Dunkmeister's out tonight. Jimmy Butler, what is even going on with Jimmy Butler? The return to competition, reconditioning crap that they're trying to spoon feed us. You know when your baby won't eat? I'm a father of 3. You know, as I'm reflecting, I'm about to be a grandfather, by the way. Congratulations to me. Anyway, in July, a little bit of time before I become the OG Pa. I told my daughter that baby will call me OG Pa. Where are we at on the clock of the show? Because I got to finish up this story. You got about 15 seconds left. This is absolutely perfect. So you got a lot of things going on. You know, you're trying to like spoon feed the baby, and the baby won't eat, right? You're your parent, you know this. Like, you're just, you're making airplane sounds. SpongeBob would eat it. Hey, SpongeBob. Hey, Mr. Krabs. You're doing everything you can. Every voice. Dora the Explorer for my daughter. You're doing everything you see. Look into my eyes. You will eat this food. You do everything you can to get them to eat, right? To get them to open their mouth and take that spoonful of crap that they don't want to eat, that you're trying to feed them, that you need them to eat so they can continue to eat, and then they can have a blowout later, and you have to change that. But my point is, whatever you do to get them to eat, whatever tricks, whatever voices, whatever acts you put on, you see, you know what I mean? That's what the Heat are trying to get us to buy with this Jimmy Butler thing, this competition reconditioning crap that they're giving us. You want to eat it? Here you go. Tastes great. That's what they're trying to give us right now. That's what it is. That's what it is. It's crap. Don't believe it. It's nothing. He doesn't want to play because he wants to be traded. They don't want to play him because he wants to be traded. It's a good old-fashioned stalemate. He's been great for the organization. The organization's been great for his career. But there comes a time in every relationship where it's over. And I believe that that's where the Miami Heat are with Jimmy Butler. More on that. Un momento, por favor. This is, as we rebrand, Heat Postcast. I'm not going to say Lockdown before, but I will say that you are only supposed to be here after the games. The day-by-day stuff, hey, check that out tomorrow with the Heat, with the Dolphins, but right here today. And check out the Dolphins Postcast that I did a little bit earlier. See, I didn't do it. All right, I'm going to annoy everybody if I keep that up, but it really is like rebranding. You try not to say it. You're like, this is the 104-100, the Heat win, and what a magnificent job down the stretch they did. Defensively, Houston couldn't make a shot. Miami with a big-time victory on the road. 2 of their last 3, now 16-14 on the season, and you see more and more glimmers of that badass Miami Heat team that we know nobody wants to play. Speaking of the team that nobody wants to play, if you want to stay on top of everything going on with the Heat, day in and day out, you everydayers know this, introducing the Locked On Heat newsletter. That's right, it's daily. It's one stop for all the team and league coverage delivered right to your inbox. Sign up for free now at LockedOnDaily.com. That is LockedOnDaily.com. Start your day with the all-new free Locked On Heat newsletter. Write it in a letter. Tell you on the phone. All right, so here we go. Well, there it is. And we are about to tell you about my ADHD and what we need to do to drug me and make me calm down and do a slower show, but I don't want to do that. I'm having too much fun. Anyway, today's episode is brought to you by Rocket RX. If you're ready to boost your confidence and take control in the bedroom, Rocket RX has the solution. Imagine feeling more prepared and performing at your best. Rocket RX makes it simple and stress-free to do that. Rocket RX offers FDA-approved treatments for erectile dysfunction at a lower cost than branded alternatives. No more uncomfortable doctor visits or pharmacy trips. Everything is delivered straight to your door in discreet, plain packaging. With Rocket RX, you'll get trusted care from a U.S. clinical team, complete a quick 100% online consultation, and you could get your free prescription today. Visit rocketrx.com to get started now. It only takes 2 minutes. I swear I can't make this up right now. Our listeners can get 40% off your first order when you use code LOCKEDONNBA. It only takes 2 minutes. That's what she said. That's rocketrx.com, code LOCKEDONNBA for 40% off your first order. Terms and conditions apply. Rocket RX, better sex made simple. It only takes 2 minutes. Life is comedy. Am I right or am I right? Jim GRIEShaber, call me Grease at Jim Grease _ on social media. You can find me in St. Louis. It's Nelly and the Lunatics, right? Anyway, you can find me here after every Heat game, after every Dolphins game, after every Hurricanes football game, hopefully doing basketball because football is going to be a long time and a long off season after losing 3 of the last 4, giving up 40-plus points in a bowl game. When you win 9 in a row to start the season and you lose all those games and you give up all those points and the defense is that bad and you blow the bowl game the way they did after blowing the Syracuse game the way they did. And yeah, gonna be a while for that one. But you can find me right here after all the Heat games with your Heat postcast, after the Dolphins games, the Dolphins postcast. Look, Dolphins going to keep playing if they win and the Chiefs win. They'll be in the playoffs. We'll get at least one more game. University of Miami gave us, nothing at the end of the season, and obviously Cam Ward quit at halftime and didn't play the rest of the game and left his teammates hanging. Well, they're down by 1 point. A field goal wins the game, less than a minute left, and Mr. New York Giant doesn't want to go back in there and play. And then Tua out with the hip for the Dolphins. And now Jimmy Butler doesn't want to play for the Heat, and the Heat don't want him to play. Why? Because if he gets hurt, he's an asset, and then the trade's going to be all out of whack. And now he's no longer any good to the organization unless they can figure things out. This is all speculation and hypotheses. You know what I'm saying? But I've been around long enough. You see the Grays, right? That's all a bunch of crap. The basketball conditioning stuff. Good Lord. No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. There is no way. There's no way. And it just is, it's unfortunate. So anyway, it's your Heat postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Jim GRIEShaber, call me Grease, and reminder, right after the game, this is the only place you want to be, no matter what else you see published from anywhere else. But the fight ensued when the game with 35 seconds left was gone. I don't know why they call it a fight. Tyler Herro got thrown on the ground, and it was a violent toss. It wasn't after Thompson threw him on the ground. And, I'm watching the video again as I show it to you right now. And it really is kind of funny. It really is. There's no, let me see here. We got to turn this, whatever they call a fight in the NBA, you have to really take it with a grain of salt because there was no fight there. By the way, the number's really going up and we appreciate you guys. They have bbeen climbing and rising here on the podcast channel, which is wherever you get your podcast, Spotify, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, iHeart, Stitcher, Podbean, and then here on the YouTube, Locked On Sports Miami. As the numbers surge, make sure you hit the subscribe for us, please, if you like the show, and then the bell so you know when we're coming to you live again. And then you want to get, I'm still laughing at the fight. Slap fights in the NBA. Remember Larry Johnson and Alonzo Mourning? And all these two monsters, they hate each other from when they played in Charlotte. Oh my God, don't let them fight. They're huge. They're huge. And Alonzo's biceps have biceps. Grandma Ma's bulging, huge monster. And take an MMA class, for God's sake. For God's sake, man, take an MMA class. So Tyler Herro got thrown on the ground, basically was going chest to chest with Thompson, who just grabbed him and yoked him. Gi jiu-jitsu, you know what I'm saying? Throw him on the ground. I mean, all right, he threw him on the ground. And then Tyler's teammates ran in to get his back, and Amen got Amen. You know what I'm saying? So, and then he wanted a piece of Tyler because anytime there's a white dude killing it in the NBA, a lot of people want a piece of him. And yeah, I said it. It's true. It happens. I mean, it is what it is, right? Anytime you see a white dude killing it in the NBA, a lot of people take that personally. A lot of players want to be the one to bust his ass, and that's just facts. It is what it is. And for that matter, when you see someone killing it in general in the NBA, people are going to be taking shots at him. But, Tyler's playing really well right now, playing some fantastic basketball, and you're going to get a lot of hate. Don't play a hate. Congratulate. Yeah, that was corny, but that wasn't mine. That was an old school saying from a dude. Anyway, what was I going to say? All right, so here we go. Jim GRIEShaber, call me Grease, G-R-I-E-S, resetting the show, going off the tracks a little bit here. Tyler Herro killing it for the Heat. They had 5 players in double figures, 104-100. The final, so Kevin Love got the start tonight. They still tinkering with the starting lineups a little bit. He had 5 points in 14 minutes, just 1 of 7 from the floor for K. Love. Haywood Highsmith had another good game. He was 6 of 8 last night against Atlanta and 6 for 9 tonight against Houston. Houston, we have a problem. 15 points for Highsmith, 3 of 6 from 3, and that's a nice job by Haywood there. 12 points for Bam Adebayo, 4 for 12 from the floor after 6 for 17 last night. Bam not shooting well. Bam is not shooting well, and when you're not shooting well and you're not necessarily getting to the line like you should be, you know what I mean? So Bam Adebayo's got some work to do on his offensive game for sure. And he misses Jimmy Butler. Jimmy and Bam play very well together in that 2-man game, and, that's something that Bam misses right now. Tyler Herro, holding on for a hero. We need another hero. Thunderdome, 10 of 17 in 37 minutes, by the way, 10 of 17, 3 of 7 from 3, 27 points after 28 last night. He's been the model of consistency. He's been getting it done, shooting the ball at a career-high percentage from 3. Record-setting pace for him. His attacks to the basket have been relentless. His vision peripherally, the passing as he attacks, finding the open man, the jump shooters, the drivers on their way to the basket, like eyes in the back of his head. The playmaking ability of Tyler Herro, the strength is there. Look at him. He's bigger. He looks stronger. The cardio's better. Tyler Herro all the way across the board. He's an all-star. Get your game on. Go play. Really good. Needs to shoot more. Only 17 shots tonight after 18 last night. I said he needs to be shooting 20-plus shots a game. He is getting to the line. You know what I'm saying? So 10 makes, 3 from 3. So 10 makes would be 20, but 3 of them are from 3, so that's 23. So 4 free throws tonight for Tyler, and he was like 4 of 8 from the line. So he left a couple of points out there and maybe a 30-point game out there. Now, the bench play. The bench's been good lately. A couple of players off the bench been scoring as of late, but not tonight where Burks and Jaquez. And the difference is Duncan Robinson's normally the starting lineup, and the Dunkmeister had 16 last night. So you're missing that scoring production. Where did you get it from? You got 18 from Jovic, and he had, 14 last night? So he gave you a little bit more than he did last night. And with Duncan out of the starting lineup, that made put Kevin Love back in there, and he only gave you 5. So Jovic gave you 18, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. How about 7 points and 7 rebounds in 14 minutes for Kel'el Ware, the 7-1 rookie? And you're looking at some good things from him. Alec Burks, 1 for 5, 4 points, 1 for 5 from 3, actually, all threes. And Jaquez Jr., 1 for 3 in 16 minutes. He scored 2 points. At least he didn't shoot 12 times and go 4 for 12 like he did last night. Now, Duncan Robinson, inflamed right foot, was out tonight. So Duncan Robinson did not play in this game for Miami. And Johnson, coach's decision. Christopher, Stevens, and Larson, coach's decisions. And Jimmy Z. Butler, return to competition reconditioning. Remember, I said you're trying to feed your baby and get the baby to eat. Oh, look, it's on the spoon. It's so good here. You want to know what's going on with Jimmy? Return to competition conditioning. Just eat this little nonsense we feed you to try to tell you what's going on when things are broken beyond repair with our franchise player, and we're going to trade him because he wants to trade and he doesn't want to play. And we don't want to play him if he doesn't want to play. And in today's NBA and pro sports landscape, you cannot go public and rip your player for things that are just basic, like, I don't know, playing. You are a player. You are supposed to play. Jim GRIEShaber, call me Grease. Call me crazy, right? You're a player. You're supposed to play. And with that, we're going to take our last break of the show. Come back. We're going to give you the team stats. We're going to give you the player of the game. We're going to give you the turning point. And we are going to give you that final score graphic. 104-100. The Heat winners in Houston. Nice job finishing up the road trip. They got the Pelicans, man, coming in on Wednesday. We'll get you ready for that one as well. 16-14 for the Heaters. Jim GRIEShaber, call me Grease at Jim Grease _ on social media. 104-100. Miami with the win. Stick around. We are wrapping it up. Un momento. Por favor. All right, and that was for the audio podcast to put in the programmatic advertising. See this? I'm producing, I'm doing traffic, which is running spots. We're doing it all here on the show. Hope you're enjoying it. Audience numbers going through the roof. I'm telling you, Jim GRIEShaber, call me Grease. You can catch me on ESPN as well, ESPN Radio a bunch of times per month, just talking sports, having fun. You can catch me on MMA Weekly covering the UFC, and of course here after the Heat, after the Dolphins, after the Canes, after the Marlins, and I think I will be doing a lot more with the Locked On Podcast Network as the days, weeks, months, years unfold. I don't know how many years I have left, but 104-100, the Heat win. And by the way, I want you to smash that subscribe, hit the bell so you get alerted when we bring you more content. Engage in the chat, having fun in the comments as always, really enjoying ourselves there. Real quick, and again, I said this, 5 guys in double figures for the Heat tonight, 27 points for Tyler Herro, 10 of 17 tonight, 12 of 18 last night. His efficiency has been off the charts. Within the game plan and the context of the game plan, fluidity, off the dribble, off the pass, poetry in motion, beauty on the court from Tyler Herro. I need more of it. I need more shots. I need him shooting 25 shots right now. Have to. And Bam's not getting it done offensively. Got to go to the rack, Bam. Got to go to the line. Easier for me to say, right? But Bam is a guy who should be shooting 1,000 jumpers a day. Meanwhile, for Houston, Dylan Brooks, 22 points tonight, 8 of 20 from the floor. That dude shoot 12 threes, 5 of 12, Dylan Brooks. But Sengun had 18, and Bam harassed him all night, 8 of 14. Fred VanVleet had 16. Jalen Green had 19 on 6 of 20 shooting. They just didn't shoot well tonight. Thompson, Whitmore, Adams, Holiday. We need a holiday. Hey, not much. The shooting was terrible. 32% from 3, 39% overall for the Rockets. Yeah. Santa line and low. They were 38 for 97 from the floor. How about that? They had the 7-point lead at 92 to 85. And from there, NASA's getting crushed by Elon, not the only Rockets going down these days. I don't even know if that made sense. I'm just trying to be hip and current and all these things, and I don't even know. Anyway, the Heat shot 44%, 37 of 84, a little more efficient, wouldn't you say? From 3, they were 10 of 33, 30%. Actually, Houston, 13 of 40, 32.5%. The free throws, Rockets, 11 of 13, Heat, 20 of 28. Really making things interesting for themselves in this game by not making those free throws. Miami and Houston, though, even with the rebounds, and when Miami does that, they almost always win because they never win the rebound battle, but the steals, the deflections, and all those things. 24 to 21, Houston had more assists. Turnovers, 15 to 13. Miami had 2 more. Fast break points about even. Points in the paint, almost even. Miami had 4 more, 48-44. They never win the points in the paint. So rebounding, points in the paint. Even with the rebounds, they won the points in the paint. Cha-ching. Yeah, put that dub right up there, man. And, of course, the largest lead of the game, 12 for the Rockets, 8 for the Heat. Miami was an underdog, 8.5 tonight. The total was 216.5. You never bet the total on a Miami Heat game. You just never know how that is going to work out. But that gives you the team stats right there as we roll on toward the finish here with your Locked On Heat Postcast. I'm doing it again. Heat Postcast. Get rid of the Locked On. Rebranding. Heat Postcast. Heat Postcast. Heat Postcast. Heat Postcast. 104 to 100. They win. And, just the way Tyler Herro's playing, flourishing, growing within his role, and, Bam Adebayo has to join him. If you are legitimately looking at trading Jimmy Butler right now, you got to get an equal value deal in return. So you got to get 2 very good players or 1 great player, at least for Jimmy B, right? I know you're going to want draft picks, but look, Jimmy Butler as a shooter, as a scorer, as a defender, as a leader, he's one of the top players in the league. You got to get that back in return. That's what makes it so hard to trade these dudes. The money has to match. You have to be getting, and very rarely when it comes time, like the Heat are in a position now to where it's looking like, hey, they got to trade Jimmy. When it gets to that point, it's too late. When it gets to that point, it's already broken beyond repair. When it gets to that point, players already been disrespected, organization, and a guy like Pat Riley really has to bite his tongue because you can't be out there saying all kinds of things, right? The players are all watching league-wide. You don't want to hurt your chances of signing or trading for different players and having them think that you're a certain kind of way. And, oh, my God, it's a nightmare for these guys. It's a nightmare. It really absolutely is a nightmare. And you know what? I literally almost forgot to upload our little thingamabobbies that we do every night, and they take forever on StreamYard out there. My little obligatory nightly, just kind of like pining for a brighter future with StreamYard because I love StreamYard. It's amazing. But it might not even be StreamYard's fault that these things never want to load for me when I'm just double clicking them and trying to get them into StreamYard to put them on the YouTube for you. And you don't even see them on the podcast version, but you get me talking about them. So you kind of know what the dealio, silly with the 9 milli, what the dealio. But yeah, so anyway, Miami with another big win. Let's take a look at the schedule coming up while these things load. Okay, I'm reloaded. You got no more games in December. I'll be gone till December. I'll be gone. What did they do for a record in December? Let's see. They lost. They won. Lost. So 4-4. Lost. 1, 5 and 5, 6 and 5, 6 and 6, 7 and 6. 7 and 6, not a bad month in December. And they're, finding their way and their identity. You got the Pelicans, man, coming in on Wednesday. I mean, they're 5 and 27. They suck. So you gotta think you're having a win there. Wednesday Pelicans, Thursday Pacers, and Saturday Jazz. That's the homestand. And then you go to play the Kings, the Warriors, Jazz, Trailblazers, Clippers, Lakers on a 6-game road trip. Oof. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's got to be the longest road trip of the season. Kings, Dubs, Jazz, Blazers, Clippers, Lakers, and then back home for the Nuggets, Spurs, Blazers, and then you get the point. So it's going to be a busy month of January. Again, games on Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday at home. Those will be 7:30 tips on Wednesday and Thursday, and then Saturday in the park. I think it is the 4th of January. Yeah, that's against Utah. So, all right, there you have it. We got a couple more things that are uploading here. Okay, I'm reloaded with the Pelicans, man. Pelicans, man. You like Pelicans, man. See, one more. Uno más, por favor. We are going to reload. But Miami, with the identity that they're creating offensively, and you got guys like Highsmith hitting threes and the Dunkmeister when he's out there playing, spot-up shooters from all over the court. Alec Burks can score in bursts, and I love Kel'el Ware when he's coming in and shooting. Very high percentage. He's getting good looks, and the rebounds are there. I just don't know what's happening with Bam. I don't know what to tell you about Bam's game offensively. I mean, he's just not getting better. He's just not shooting better. And when Jimmy was starting to find his groove and Bam's playing high, and that means out north of the free throw line, above the free throw line, maybe on either side or right, even with the bucket straight away, and Bam's up top, and Bam's got the ball, and he can either put the ball on the floor if he's playing against a smaller guy who's going to try to get in his face on the perimeter. Almost everybody's going to give Bam that jumper, the deep jumper, the long two. Everyone's going to give him that. But when he puts the ball on the floor and he can go by people, or when he's up top and he can see, he's got that great vision, delivers the ball like a point guard would when he passes. So he's got a lot of options up there. But without Jimmy in the lineup, it hasn't been working for Bam. It hasn't. And I hope with Kel'el Ware playing next to him, that'll really help him. But I just don't see Bam's offensive game being helped at all by Jimmy Butler being out. He really misses him. And that's the one thing. And Bam still had a double-double. He had 10 and 10 tonight. He had 17 and 10 last night. But I feel like, and a lot of other people do too, a lot of other peoples. My peoples, are you with me? Where you at? In the front, in the back, kill the bees, on attack, my peoples. All right, my peoples. If you want Bam Adebayo to score more, raise your hand. Okay, how's he going to do it? Is he going to become a better jump shooter? Because that hasn't happened. I mean, it has. It has over the years. He's gotten better. And remember, this is a guy that you were able to get Whiteside out of here. And Bam Adebayo has been a key contributor for this team. He's a USA gold medalist on the basketball court. You know what I mean? He's a great defender, tremendous leader, pillar in the community, but he's not a good offensive player right now. And he's really hurting you. Just food for thought. All right, before we get on out of here, get on out like a dance machine. Not the opposite of that. Smash the subscribe, ring the bell. Come on in to the chat. Here is the final score graphic, 104-100. Your Miami Heat with the win tonight, 104-100. There's Bam. Look at that jumper. Uncontested, clean line of vision. Bang, right down the pipe. 104-100. Your final score, the Heaters with the dub. And how about the turning point? These are the moments. Look at Jovic cranking out the three with 47 seconds left. He drilled the triple, and then he hit 2 free throws 12 seconds later on the game clock, not in real life time. And that was enormous for Miami because he capped off a great night for himself by finishing with 18 points. But the 3 plus the free throws. Okay, the 3 came at a moment when the Houston Rockets, right? Let me just take a peek here just to make sure I'm giving you the right info on the Jovic 3 because the Jovic 3 came at a moment in time when your Miami Heat really needed it, obviously, but I'm getting to something here. So Jovic, 27-foot three-point shot at 47.1 seconds. That was right after Dillon Brooks missed a 3. So Tyler had made a 9-footer to put Miami up by a point. All right. Houston gets the ball back. Dillon Brooks misses. So it's a 1-point game, and Jovic drills the 3. Makes it a 4-point game. Rockets call timeout. Tyler Herro gets thrown on the ground, makes 1 free throw. The whole thing goes crazy, right? And he gets thrown on the ground, and who's going to take the free throw, and they get another free throw, and who's going to do it? And yeah, it's Jovic who makes the 2 free throws in place of Tyler Herro, and he knocks him right down. So the fact that they went to him, that Spo said, hey, we're going to you, big fella. And, he talked about being more consistent, and I'd say that really is a big part of it. So a nice job by Jovic to make the 3. That put him up, made a 1-point game, a 4-point game, and then the free throws after the whole slab fighting scrum. I mean, all that, 23-18 in the fourth quarter, they won by 4 points. So you outscored them by 5 in the fourth, and you won by 4. You're down 1 coming into the fourth. You outscore them by 5 in the fourth. Hey, that University of Miami degree coming in real handy right now with the turning point. And as if there was any guess about who this is. Star of the game, the star of our show, Tyler Herro, 27 points, 9 assists, and 6 rebounds. I think I got that right, Tyler. Let me make sure I got you there, dog. Tyler with the 9 assists and 6 boards. I think I had that right. So 27, 9, and 6 for Tyler. Look, you got New Orleans coming up on Wednesday. You got Indiana coming in as well. It's going to be a good week. You got the Dolphins next week. Look, Jets and Dolphins, TBD. Did they give you a game time for that stupid thing yet? The NFL with every game being a flex game next week. So you have literally the Dolphins and Jets next week. And remember, if the Dolphins win and the Broncos lose to the Chiefs, the Dolphins are actually in the playoffs. No word yet on whether Tua's going to play with that hip next week, but I'll tell you this, man. Dude, Tyler Huntley played really well in his place today, and that was outstanding for your Miami Dolphins as they won 20-3 and beat the Cleveland Browns. Okay, Dolphins, Jets. All right, it has been determined that it will be Sunday, but the time is TBD. So the Dolphins, I mean, look, you're at the Jets. They got murdered today. You just beat them. You got to feel good, Huntley or Tua, that you can win that game. They got the Cheetah more involved today. Tyreek with 7 catches on 9 targets. They got him returning punts. You know what I mean? You got Jonnu Smith on fire even without Waddle. The offense is ticking. Achane didn't have much of a game today, but they keyed on him a bit, and the Dolphins with a big win. And so the Heat finish off the weekend. It was a good one. The Hurricanes blew it yesterday. Cam Ward quits on the team at halftime. The Dolphins with no Tua, they got it done today. And then the Miami Heat, this identity that they're crafting, forged in the fire, the defense, the grit, the toughness, the underdog mindset, and all these guys, that Miami Heat culture, they just continue to crank them out. Churn them and burn them, baby. It really is amazing. It really, truly is amazing what the Miami Heat are able to do as an organization year in and year out. That's all there is, Heat fans. There is no more. We are long on the show, but we are not long for content and fun here today. The Miami Heat 104-100 winners on the road at Houston. They outscore them by 5 in the fourth quarter, put the clamps, the vice grips on Houston down the stretch. The atrocious shooting of the Rockets caused by the defense of Miami. Tyler Herro led the way with 27, but 5 guys in double figures for the Heat without Jimmy Butler, without Duncan Robinson. They get it done in Houston. Couple of days off, the new year coming. They will play on New Year's night, and that will be at home against the New Orleans Pelicans. So we won't talk to you until after New Year's, whether it be the Dolphins, whether it be the Heat, whether it be the Canes. Canes over for the season. So we will say thank you very much for making this year very special for us with the Locked On Podcast Network. We rolled out the POSTCAST this year, which meant that I got to do the Marlins and then the Canes and Dolphins and Heat. So that got me a job back here in Miami, a city that I love. I went to college at the University of Miami, and it really holds a special place in my heart. I love it here. I love covering the teams here. I've covered the Heat in every decade since the 90s. I went to a Heat game in the 80s, but in the 90s with Hardaway and Mourning and Pat Riley coming into town and the special atmosphere that was created then, the Knicks series, the Bulls, you know what I mean? Like so many great memories there. In the 2000s with the Shaqquisition, of course, Dwayne Wade came in, the Shaqquisition happens. You win an NBA title for the first time. All those wars with the Pistons, all those series with the Mavericks. And then, of course, it's the Heatles, not 1, not 2, not 27 or 81, but it's LeBron and it's Bosh and all those guys. And now, you're regrouping. You got Bam, you got Jimmy B for now, and you got this team that went to the finals in 2020 and in 2022. But the one thing that remains consistent more than anything is that Heat culture. And for me, it's a true love of the game and a love of the city of Miami and the sports fans of Miami who I've had a relationship with on a personal level for so many years, decades now. Really appreciate all y'all and want to say thank you for a tremendous year in 2024. Going to be epic in 25 as well. The postcast continuing to roll on. Let me just reset it for you one more time to remind you. After the games, you only want to come see me here, Locked On Sports Miami, and then wherever you get your podcasts, right? Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeart. So after the games, Heat, Dolphins, and that's it right now. You want to be right here with me. Day to day, you want to be with those guys. Locked On Heat, Locked On Dolphins, Locked On Canes, and the newsletters, day in and day out. But right after the games, we are here live with your postcast. That's all there is, Heat fans. There is no more. 104 to 100. You beat the Rockets in Houston today, 16-14. Big night for Tyler Herro. Hey, we will see you all together now, all in together now, like the Meth would say. See you next year, right? On Wednesday with your Heat postcast after they play the Pelicans, man. Jim GRIEShaber, call me Grease at Jim Grease _GRIES. Reminding you, as always, with the new year coming, thank you so much for being you, for being here to support us. And as always, even more so now, taking it into next year, keep your game tight and your mind right. Thank you for watching your Locked On Heat postcast. I am Jim GRIEShaber, call me Grease, and I am